students again. Welcome to this online session, which is the last session with me, your teacher, Taqwa Nويري, in this sequence 1. So in this session, we are going to see an example of a BEM exam, and we are going to do all its tasks together. So follow me. So we start with the lesson plan for this session. First, we have an exam layout. We are going to see the different parts of an exam. Second, we have part 1. Part 1 is divided into 2 parts. We have section 1 reading comprehension, and we have section 2 mastery of language. The last part is part 2 phase of integration. So let's begin now. Let's start with the exam layout. So here, as you can see, we have 2 pages of the exam. On the first page, on your left, we have the text and some questions about the text. Second page, we have 2 parts. We have section 2 mastery of language, and we have part 2 phase of integration. Now let's see the layout in details. So first we have the text, we said. The text in this exam sample is about an outstanding figure in literature. So your test is going to be divided into 2 parts. For part 1 we have 12 points. Part 2 we have 8 points. So this gives us 20 points. So part 1 is divided into 2 other parts or sections. We have section 1 reading comprehension for 6 points, and this section is divided into 3 different tasks, but these tasks are going to be about the text. Each task is for 2 points. We can have, for example, a task that asks us to fill in an ID card, a table, anything from the text. We can also have a task with WH question to answer from the text, or a yes/no question. We can have a task that asks us to answer by true or false from the text. We can also have a task that asks us to find a synonym or opposite of a word from a text. Second section is section 2 mastery of language for 6 points. In this section 2 we have 3 tasks. For task 1 and 2, they are about grammar, something about grammar that you have seen in sequence 1. For task 3, it's about pronunciation. It's about sounds, the sounds you have seen in sequence 1 as well. So each task is for 2 points, like section 1. Now we move to part 2 for 8 points. We said that for part 2 we have a phase of integration. It means you are going to write a paragraph or a dialogue about a topic that is related to the text. It means if your text is about an outstanding figure, you are going to write in the phase of integration about the same topic. So this is the layout of the exam in general. Now we move to the text. So here's our text. We have the title Virginia Woolf, a literature icon. I'm going to give you just 1 minute to read the text quickly. Don't read it in details word by word. You have to read it quickly and just try to understand what is it about. So you have 1 minute to read it. hope the text is clear. Now we move to part 1, section 1, reading comprehension. So here we have the questions. We have, as I said, 3 questions. For question 1, it's an ID card you are going to fill in from the text. For question 2, we have 2 questions. We have a yes/no question and a WH question. For question 3, it is divided into 2 parts, A and B. For A, you are going to find synonyms of 2 words, and for B, you are going to say to what or to who these 2 words refer in the text. So I'll give you just 1 minute to read the questions quickly. So time is up. Thank you. Now we have the text, as you can see. Let's start with question number 1 from section 1. So we have I fill in the ID card from the text. As you can see in the ID card, we have first name, family name, date of birth, place of birth, occupation, first published work, date of death, and place of death. So please quickly, you have 1 minute to fill in the ID card from the text on your left. Time is up. Thank you for trying. So here, first name, we have Virginia. Family name, we have Wolf. For date of birth, to find a date of birth in the text, you find the verb was born. So was born, it means the date of birth. If you find it, it means you found the date of birth. So here we have on 25th of January 1882. Now place of birth, the location is in South Kensington, London, England. Occupations now. So here it is marked in the text: novelist, essayist, publisher and critic. To look for occupations, you look for names of jobs in the occupation. Now, to find information about occupation, you have to look for names of jobs in the text. So here we have it underlined: novelist, essayist, publisher and critic. Now, first published work, we have the word first in the text, which indicates number 1, the first novel, which is The Voyage, out in 1915. Now for date of death. Date of death, you find the verb died. So it's here in paragraph 2, and here's the information about the date: 28th March 1941. Place of death, you may find it before the date of death or after it. So in this text we have the location or the place before the date of death. So here we have place of death, East Sussex, England. So this task is for 2 points, like we said, and for each correct answer you have 0.25. Well done. Now let's move to task 2 or question 2. I answer the following from the text. So here we have 2 questions. The first is a yes/no question. Is Virginia a famous writer in England and the world? Second, who supported Virginia to begin writing? So here please you have just 1 minute to answer these 2 questions from the text. Thank you. Time is up. So let's answer these 2 questions. The first one, is Virginia a famous writer in England and the world? It means in both England and the world. We say yes, she is. This is an answer, a short answer for a yes/no question. So let's see why we said yes, she is. So we have in the first paragraph, Virginia Woolf was one of the most innovative figures in England, in English and world literature. So here we have in English, in literature of English and literature of the world. Second, we have in paragraph 2, her published works were translated into more than 50 languages all over the world. This means that Virginia was very famous, that her works were written in more than 50 languages in the world. Second, we have who supported Virginia to begin writing. So here in the text you look for the verb support. So here we have in paragraph 2, her father was her support to start writing in 1900. So here's the answer. Her father was her support to start writing. So this question is for 2 points as well. 1 point for each correct answer. Next, we move to question number 3. I answer the following from the text. So in question number 3 we have 2 parts. We have A and B. So for A, we are going to look for the synonyms of 2 words, rich and many. Second, B, you are going to look for the words that refer to these 2 words we have. First we have his in paragraph 2 and we have her in paragraph 3. These words are underlined in the text as you can see. So please, you have 1 minute to answer both questions. At the correct answers together. For A, the synonym of rich is in paragraph 1. Rich, it means having a lot of money. So in paragraph 1 we have, she was born on 25th of January 1882 in South Kensington, London, England, in a wealthy family. So here the word wealthy means rich. Second word, many. So we can find the synonym of many in the last paragraph, paragraph number 3. We can say many or we can say several. Several. So here we have many statues were constructed and several buildings were named after her. So we can say several buildings or many buildings. For task number 2 or for B, part B, the first word is his. You can find it in paragraph 2. It is underlined and it is written in bold. Now we have his. Let's read the sentence from the beginning. We have, her father was her support to start writing in 1900, but his death broke her down. The death of whom? The death of her father. So his death, it means her father, Virginia's father. Now the word number 2, which can be found in paragraph 3, the last line. You can see that it is underlined. So here we have many statues were constructed and several buildings were named after her to commemorate her great achievements. After whom? Of course, after Virginia, the writer that we are talking about in our text. So her refers to Virginia. So for this question 2, we have 2 points. Half a point for each correct answer. Well done. Thank you for trying. That's it for this session. Thanks for watching and see you in part 2 of this exam, where we are going to deal with mastery of language and phase of integration. See you next time. Bye.
شكرا على المشاهدة. لا تنسوا الاشتراك في القناة، الضغط على الجرس، الإعجاب بالفيديو.